Hi, everybody. Mitch Tannenbaum here. Thanks for joining me today. Today, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite topics. For those of you who listen or read my stuff, know that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the blockchain. And I'm not necessarily against the blockchain for anything that it does, but people seem to think that somehow magic occurred and the blockchain is somehow secure. The reality is the blockchain is software, and software is implemented by a lot of different developers. And as we've seen, on different weeks, there's hacks of various blockchain related technologies, decentralized finance technologies. And, depending on the particular attack, you lose 100 million bucks, 300 million bucks, 600 million bucks, after a while, at least according to one group of people that seem to tally these things. Since 2021, about $10 billion with a B has been lost as a result of decentralized finance hacks. So our dear friends at DARPA, and these are guys that I do like because they're really smart people, commissioned a investigation. That's the document you see on the left, or that's an article about the document. The document itself is on the right. And what they asked was, first of all, is decentralized finance, i.e., the blockchain, is it really decentralized? That's number one. And number two, is it really secure? And what they found, we have to assume Trellabits is one of the folks that follows this blockchain security stuff. And remember, this really has nothing to do with Bitcoin or the value of Bitcoin or Ethereum. This is talking about technologies, the underlying technology behind it. And what it, the general term for this is a distributed ledger technology. And what they say, which is accurate, is it describes software that stores information on a supposedly secure, they don't say that, supposedly secure decentralized network where users need cryptographic keys to access the data. I think they're being kind here when they say the report demonstrates the continued need for careful review when assessing new technologies. Now, what they're saying basically here is not anything bad about blockchain or Bitcoin. They're saying it's software, and the software vendors on occasion have been known to make claims that weren't exactly accurate. We won't say they're lying. We'll say they're not exactly accurate. And what they're saying is these Trellabits guys says that supposedly blockchains are supposed to be what's the big word, the fancy word is immutable. What that means is you can't change it. And what they said is, damn, some of these things are changeable. And part of that comes from the fact that the supposed decentralization of these things really isn't decentralized as much as anybody thinks it is. They say there's several factors that contribute to vulnerabilities inside blockchain systems, and one of them is the security of the individual nodes or the participating computers, right? That's not a big surprise. If the computers that you're working on are not secure, then whatever it is you're doing on those computers may not be secured. And what they're saying here is, if even just one of these nodes does not have the proper security protocols or simply is run by a crook, then the whole damn thing may come down like a house of cards. And I think that's part of some of the $10 billion in losses we've seen over the last year or so has been attributable to these things that people will go off and get themselves injected into the system by dishonesty. And then they use the fact that they're now in a position of trust to go off and do things that they shouldn't be doing. So it's an interesting thing. And it points out, for example, here that the traffic on Bitcoin protocol is unencrypted, which may or may not pose a threat. But if a third party gets in there in between the nodes, then all bets are off. So this is an interesting report. I always say, don't invest more than your lunch money in cryptocurrency. Obviously, people have invested a lot of money in I don't know what the number is, tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars in crypto at this point. But I think that people have gone off and done that, and in general it works. But the problem is, for example, when we have one of these $100 million, $300 million, 500, 600, $1 billion losses, most of the time that's not insured. On occasion, the company has deep enough pockets to be able to reimburse the people who lost money. But you got to understand that if you're putting your money in one of these decentralized finance vehicles, and in particular the one this past week, $100 plus million loss, 78,000 ETH, Ethereum. That was a bridge. That wasn't actually a repository. It was a bridge between different cryptocurrency technologies, and it's software. Sorry, software has bugs in it. Even good software has bugs in it, and software which is rushed to market, which many times happens in the case of cryptocurrency type things, because everybody wants to be the first one to market. They say fail fast, and that's okay if you're a social media company and you crash, you go off the air, you lose some posts or something like that. But if you're a finance company and you're dealing with people's money, and you're dealing with potentially billions of dollars of people's money, failing fast may not be a great strategy. So not saying you shouldn't use it. I'm saying you need to understand the risk and take appropriate precautions, whatever that might be, to deal with the risks. So if any questions about this, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to chat with you. And other than that, until next time, thanks for listening.
Turnkey Cybersecurity and Privacy Solutions offers the complete cybersecurity program for small to medium-sized